Well, hello there. I'm JR, and you're listening to Three Things with JR. So, it's episode 91, and I've got very little prepared to tell you about. So, I've got a couple things I want to talk about, but I don't have like a structured three things. I'm not interviewing anybody. This is just me telling you what I'm doing right now, what I'm passionate about, what is consuming me. And that's kind of it for this week. So it's probably going to be a fairly short show, and you can get on with the rest of your day. Won't take you all that long. So there you go. I've been busy here lately. Work has been going fantastically well. I've been killing it at work. We've been super busy hiring more people, and that has been pretty consuming as far as my work day goes. But what about after work? What am I doing after work? You probably know already if you have been looking at my Facebook or listening to this show. But one thing I haven't been doing is recording a lot of podcasts. So that's because if I'm not at work, I'm probably in Waynesboro at the Wayne Theater rehearsing for something rotten. And it has, we're in Tech Week now. We had a double tech day yesterday. And what that means is we've done all the prep work, right? We've learned all of our music. We've learned all of our choreography. We've learned all of our blocking. And now it's time to integrate all of that with all of the technical side of putting on a show. So that means yesterday, Saturday, April 16th, we put on our microphones for the first time and got to hear our voices coming out of the house PA system. The lighting guy had the lights all programmed. We had scene changes. We had sets that we had to move in and on and off the stage. We have costume changes. We have all of that stuff we did for the first time yesterday. And then when we were done doing it the first time, we did it again. That's a double tech day, and it was a long day, but for the first time, you can sort of get an idea of what this show's really going to look and feel and sound like. You know, I know what it's supposed to look and feel and sound like, only based on what I have seen of the original Broadway show, which comes to me via bootlegged copies on YouTube. So I know what that looks like, and I know what ours looks like now. And I am more excited than I have ever been for you to see this show, because the people we have playing all of the principal characters, the people in the ensemble, they are all incredible. And we have some amazing tap dancers. I am a tap dancer. I'm not one of the amazing ones, but I will be tap dancing in this show, and singing and dancing and acting. All I'm doing things I've never done before, and I'm surrounded by people that have done this kind of stuff before and are really good at it. And so the cast is fantastic. We are in good hands with our director and musical director, Leslie and Sarah. We've got a fantastic sound person in Becca, and our stage manager, Alex, has really seems to have backstage figured out as far as scene changes and that side of things. The lighting is going to be great. It is going to be a fantastic show. I can say that now, having seen what it actually is turning out to be. And we're only 4 days away. As I'm sitting here on Sunday night talking into this microphone, we are 4 days away from opening night. As you listen to this on Tuesday, because you're going to hear this as soon as it pops up in your podcast feed, because you've been waiting for a new episode, I know you have, you're going to be 2 days away from opening night. And you've got 10 shows to go see. So Thursday, Friday, 2 shows on Saturday and Sunday. Opening night is this Thursday, the 21st. And then we do the same thing again the following weekend, closing out the show on Sunday, May 1st. And I cannot wait to do this show. And I'm really not looking forward to it being over. It's been all consuming in the most positive of ways. It is Like I've been singing the songs all the time. Like when I'm driving, I mean, they're just in my head. The songs that I sing in the show, the songs that others sing in the show, the choreography. It took me a little while to get all of that sort of figured out, especially in the songs that aren't my song, the one that I sing in this show, but the ones where I'm in the more like ensemble role. And so I've got some dancing to do there, and that's taken a little while to figure out. That's challenging me. I thought I could kind of dance, but no, I'm surrounded by real dancers, and I'm just hoping not to look like an idiot next to some people that can really dance. But I feel like that's coming along well. I am fully prepared to be the weakest part of this show, just how good the cast is that I'm surrounded by. And from all the signs, from what people are telling me, I'm doing pretty good fulfilling the role for which I was given, which is the role of Nostradamus in Something Rotten. So I think if I'm the weakest link in this show, you're in good hands. You're going to be fully entertained if you come and see this show. Get your tickets. WayneTheater.org is where you go to get your tickets. I don't know if we're selling out any nights yet. I can't promise there are walk-up tickets available. There probably are, but who knows? You shouldn't take that chance. Probably go to WayneTheater.org and get tickets and come on out to the show. Because it's been everything I've been doing outside of work for the past couple months now. I've had a few days off here and there when I'm not at the show or rehearsing the show or at home practicing dancing and choreography and singing and lines. Then I'm probably out playing disc golf. Like people say, how was your weekend? And my weekend consisted of rehearsing for this show, playing disc golf, and sometimes I get to go to band practice and play the drums. And that's been my life. When I get home, I might watch some TV and then go to bed. And so I haven't been doing as many varied things that I might have done in the past. But what I'm doing really well. And it feels extremely rewarding to do fewer things than I used to do, and to do them all better. So it's work, it's Something Rotten, it's disc golf, and and playing in the band, and I'm killing it on all four fronts, and yeah, life is good, life is really good. I've already started to think about what am I going to do to fill my time once Something Rotten has come to a close. It's one of those, I've talked about this on a previous show, how it's incredibly rewarding to have something to do, to focus on, to work on, to perfect and get better at, and to think about all the time. I love it. But the only problem with that is when it comes to an abrupt end. When that Sunday, May 1st matinee show is over, Something Rotten is no longer a part of my daily life. And I'm not looking forward to that feeling. I'm looking forward to it in that I know at that time I will feel like it's over. I did it. It's a thing I have done. I can look back on it and say that is a thing I did, and I am super proud of it. But I'm also going to be kind of bummed out that I don't get to do it anymore. So I'm actually already starting to think about auditioning for the next show, because it's actually coming up soon. So soon, in fact, the auditions are before Something Rotten is over. So there's going to be a little bit of overlap as far as auditioning goes. Rehearsals will be fine. They don't start till after Something Rotten's over. But the next show that's going on locally in a community theater somewhere within, driving distance of my house, that is a show that I really want to be in, it's going to be at Shannon Arts, which is in Stanton. So a slightly further drive than I'm going now to rehearse in Waynesboro. But the show is a show that I have seen live on stage. Now, I saw this show at the West End in London. It's London's version of Broadway. The show I hadn't planned on seeing it. I know that my girlfriend had seen it in New York. Kinky saw it when she was there with some of her friends, and I was not there. They went and saw this show. And when I was in London when I was in England to visit my stepson Chester and Megan and his family. When he was stationed there, this is about 4 or 5 years ago now. When I went there to see them, I took a day and went to London all by myself. I walked around town. I went and saw the sights. I saw Buckingham Palace. I saw Big Ben. I saw House of Parliament. I walked down the Thames, and I ate and just thoroughly enjoyed being in London. I also bought tickets, or a ticket to a show. And when I called Kinky and said, what show should I go to? I'm in London. I'm at the West End. I should see a show while I'm here. Bought same-day ticket for Kinky Boots. And I knew she had liked it. Other than that, I didn't really know what it was about. Wow. It was mind-blowingly good. The entire cast was fantastic. The songs blew me away. The subject matter was incredibly interesting and provocative. The dancing was incredible. The choreography, I am marveled every time I watch a Broadway level show, just to see how they move the stage around, how they have so many actors that have to be in exactly the right places, exactly the right time, or the whole thing goes kaput. And this is no exception. This is that kind of show. The performances were fantastic, absolutely incredible. If you're familiar with Kinky Boots, then you're probably already picturing which role in that show do I think I should have. And I mean, if I could play any role I wanted to play, I would play one of the lead characters, obviously. But I'm quite aware of the singing and dancing that has to be done by those, the A-list first call sort of lead characters, and I do not have those chops, nor do I look the part. I am not a flashy black, I am not a flashy black drag queen, for example. So I don't think the role of Lola in Kinky Boots is one that I am going to land, even though that would be amazing to play that role. Charlie, the other main lead character, yeah, he's got some high notes, a lot of them. And he carries quite a bit of the show with his vocal sing. I mean, his singing is incredible. I don't think I can do that. I need to be realistic about what I could actually do. This show, just so you know, is about a guy who inherits his father's shoemaking factory in a small town in England, and he doesn't really want to. His father passes away. He sort of gets the factory, and he's got to figure out how to make it profitable again, and he comes up with an idea when he meets a drag queen whose boots are not up to the task of holding her up. I mean, she's a man dressed in women's clothing that is not built for a man. So Charlie gets the idea that his shoe factory could actually turn itself around business-wise if they started making boots for drag queens that can handle the weight of a man. Those are the Kinky Boots. He enlists Lola to help him do this, to help build those Kinky Boots, design and make them. And in the factory are some, factory workers, not necessarily the most enlightened crew. And one of them particularly has an issue with someone like Lola coming into his turf, into his factory, and being who Lola is. And his name is Dawn. And Dawn is the role I think I can nail it. I think I need to be Dawn in Kinky Boots. I need to be in this show. I want any role they'll give me. They're not going to give me Lola or Charlie or any one of Lola's angels. But I think Dawn is a role I can do. And if I can't do Dawn, I'll take an ensemble role where I'm playing background people that I might have one or two lines here and there. But I just want to be in this show, Kinky Boots. It's a fantastic show, well written. The music is by Cyndi Lauper originally, and the book or the lyrics, the story is by Harvey Fierstein, and it's an incredibly great show, and I hope I get to be in it. And I have a feeling that the competition will be strong for this role for all of the roles, because this is a big time show at it's a big theater over there in Shannon Arts or at Stanton. And it's going to be tough to land this role. The audition will consist of singing a couple of songs. Here's what I've got to do. Let me go back to it here. Audition for Kinky Boots. I've got to perform 2 contrasting musical theater pieces, and I must exude enough vocal stamina to successfully execute particular musical roles throughout the rehearsals and the show. I need to bring pre-recorded music. The speakers will be provided, no pianist. Singers auditioning for principal roles may be asked to sing a selection from the show. And that, ooh, baby, that's going to be tough because Don, I was looking into it, they give you some sides and some of the where Don's roles involve singing. And he's not like the main guy in the show. He's a principal character, but not the main guy. So I was just listening to the soundtrack. It's not a soundtrack. Broadway people get so upset when you call their thing a soundtrack. No, I was listening to the original Broadway cast recording, and let me just play you a snippet of this song and where Don sings, and listen to this note that I'm going to have to hit. So let me cue it up here.
Look out, Milan! Here comes Don, and Don has brought some friends along. When you're stuck inside uncertainty, then the ones you love are gonna set you free. Yeah!
Okay, that's Don singing in like the big number at the end of the show. That's what I might have to sing in an audition next weekend. So I've got some practicing to do. And I can't practice it enough so that I can't practice it too much. Otherwise, it might take away from what I'm doing in Something Rotten, because that is job 1, is the show I'm currently in. But job 2 is the next show, the next job, and I need to be prepared for that. So I think the plan might be to go in with a couple songs that I'm intimately familiar with from the show I'm in now. Like maybe I should just sing the song I'm singing in Something Rotten when I get to the Kinky Boots audition, and probably I need some other song that's totally like not that, and maybe one that includes a high note. Maybe another song from this show that I happen to know really well where there's a high note involved, like maybe one of Shakespeare's songs. I don't know. Anyway, if you have any advice for me in my next audition or how to get the role of Dawn, I probably need to work on my English accent. I probably need to watch Kinky Boots again. By the way, you can watch it. It's on Broadway HD. It's an app. You can get it on like your Apple TV, your Roku, all that. And you do have to subscribe, but there's a whole bunch of good stuff there, including the London or West End version of Kinky Boots with all of the actors that I saw when I was there. So it's pretty fantastic. You can get very familiar with the show that way. And I'm gonna go seek out Don's part in this show and try to really channel my inner Dawn and see if I can do that. So anyway, that's what's on my mind. That's what's happening for me right now. And if you, I would really love to see you in person at the Wayne Theater in the lobby right after my show. Because unless I work with you or play disc, I'm not sure when I'll get to play disc golf again. Probably not at all for the next couple weeks. But if you want to see me in person, that's probably where you'll have to find me. Dressed up on stage, singing, dancing, and acting, or back in the lobby after the show. I highly suggest it. Oh, I forgot to tell you, one wonderful thing about Tech Week, once you start wearing microphones, you can't really wear a mask anymore. We've been masking up for rehearsals ever since, for 2 months now. And we are now out of the woods as far as masks go because Tech Weekend shows, we are not masked up for those shows. And so, oh, God, it's so nice for the past few months, that's been the only place in my life where wearing a mask was a thing I had to do. And for all the right reasons. Like, we masked up to make sure that we give ourselves the best chance possible to have everybody healthy and ready to go for showtime. And if anybody had come down with some COVID, that would have kind of sucked. Has not happened, probably because we've been wearing masks, and we're vaccinated, and we're just generally, things aren't as bad as they used to be. So it's kind of nice. And you won't have to wear a mask at the Wayne Theater. They don't have a COVID vaccination requirement, although I highly recommend you go get vaccinated if you haven't already. But you don't really, you can just come. You can just come to the show. And if you're not cool gathering with that many people, wear a mask. It's a big theater. You'll probably be fine. Like, really, that's where we're at right now. And we've been taking all the precautions that we can up until Tech Week. We've been wearing these masks, and it's just nice to not have to wear them now that we really got to, go with what the actual conditions of live shows will be is without masks. So there you go. All right, that's it. That's all I got to say. I do not think I'll be making another episode of this podcast for a few more weeks. Just because showtime, Tech Week, showtime, rehearsals, live shows, something rotten. It is happening, people. And so if you want to know what I have to say, come see me on stage. I don't know. I'm rambling now. I didn't have a script for this one. I just didn't want to go another week without telling you what's on my mind. And I don't really have anything else on my mind. I haven't been watching the news. I haven't been keeping up with other stuff. I haven't been thinking about other things. Like, this is kind of it. This and what am I going to do with my dog while I'm at these shows? Scherzer is going to be having some cage time. Oh, yeah, I should probably tell you about Scherzer. In case you didn't know, if you don't know my dog Scherzer, he's fantastic. I love Scherzer. He's with me every day, like all day, every day. He comes to work with me. He rides in my car. We go everywhere together. He usually sleeps in the same bedroom as me, although not always. And he's extremely attached to me. Like, the worst thing in his mind is to not be with me. And that's a problem. That's really his only fault, is this sort of separation anxiety, and he has not yet gotten over it. So when we first got him, we would leave him at home alone, and he was fine most of the time. And until one time when we came home and he had somehow opened the front door and chewed through the screen door. It's a wooden screen door with some like wooden trim at the bottom. He had almost chewed completely through it, tore up the screen. It was bad. And then another time he was here, we had, I wasn't here. Nobody was at the house. He saw a red truck like mine drive by, and he thought, that's got to be him. I got to go. I got to be with him. And so I got to do everything I can to get out of this house. And one of the windows upstairs in the bedroom was partially open. And so he made sure it was all the way open somehow with his head. And then he clawed through the screen and jumped out of a second-story window. And it wasn't me, but somebody found him and brought him back to the barn. He has most recently figured out how to stand on a bed, chew through some heavy-duty wooden blinds, break a window that was closed, like a 6-pane window. He broke one of the panes and clawed through the screen on the other side and got his body, which looks bigger than this pane, but somehow got his body through that piece of glass, got out of the house, and was chilling in the driveway when one of the neighbors found him. And that's remarkable because he doesn't have any cuts on him at all. Like, there's blood all over the blinds and the window, but none on him. Like, there's no evidence whatsoever of what he might have cut himself on when he was chewing through blinds and breaking windows with his head. That's how bad his separation anxiety is. And so we've had to get pretty like industrial strength cages for Scherzer because we have 2 different houses that we kind of stay at on 2 different farms. We don't own either of them. Rent is cheap. And so, but he can't be trusted to stay in either house without breaking the house to get out of the house. And gosh, it's kind of annoying. So, and he doesn't like being in the cage either, but at least in the cage, he's protected from himself. He's just kind of stuck in the cage, and he won't eat or drink while in the cage. If there's any kind of blanket or, like a bed or anything like that for him, he will simply sit there and chew it to shreds. That's all he does in the cage. And as soon as you let him out, he goes and gets water. He goes outside and he's fine. But we can't leave him in there all day. So we've got to figure out what to do with the dog while I'm at these shows. Like, that's the other main thing that's on my mind right now. So if anybody wants to dog sit for Scherzer, please get in touch with me and make sure to let me know if you don't have any cats, we're good. Because if you do have cats and you like your cats and want to keep them, we're not good. You cannot have Scherzer at your house. If you have cats that you want to get rid of, like if you want them to cease to be around, if you want them to stop living, then Scherzer might be a good addition to your home for a day or two, because he will make sure there are no live cats anywhere in sight of him. So he's pretty good at ridding the world of cats, anything he has access to. Cats, bunnies, squirrels, he'll take care of them for you. So there you go. Something rotten. A little tiny bit of disc golf, but mostly something rotten, and Scherzer duty. Who's going to be on Scherzer duty? We might have to send him to doggy daycare. All right, I'm rambling. I just had to tell you something. I wanted to get this episode out. It's Sunday, April 17th. I'm going to hit stop on this, and I'm going to put some music and stuff on the beginning and in the end of it. You might have noticed there was no commercial this episode. I wanted to get out here and tell you what's going on, and I hope to see you at the Wayne Theater for Something Rotten. And then maybe in late summer, I hope to see you at Shannon Arts for Kinky Boots, but we'll have to see. I'm going to have to work on my high notes. I'm going to have to channel my inner Don, and there we go. Cool. All right. Over and out. See you next time I record.